Hello! This video is a review and a tutorial of the Fontself app for iPad. You might have heard of this app before as it is an extension for Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, but now it is also a standalone iPad app that you can use to create fonts completely in vector using your Apple Pencil. I'm so excited to be showing you this. This is such a cool app, so let's jump right into it. When you first open up the app, you can see this basic interface. There are some templates that get you started really quickly. And then once you've created a few fonts, they will start to appear here at the bottom. If you have any questions at any time, you'll see there's a little question mark here. So you tap on this. You can get help and you can give feedback right here within the app. Having these templates is super handy because it means you don't have to start on a blank canvas. Sometimes it can be really hard just to start with nothing. So having all these different templates available for inspiration and so that you don't have to start from scratch is super, super handy. There's all sorts of different lettering styles and script. And then here we have a graffiti font or just a normal sans serif here as well. If you don't want to use a template, you can also start with a blank sheet. And there's two different grids available that you can choose from. Or if you're not happy with any of them, you see there's a little suggestion box here. So you can suggest another template if you would like to have that. So now let's start with the handwriting template and let's have a quick look at the font making interface. You'll see that you have a variety of different brushes available and this is super cool. We have a standard brush to start with and you can see that you can change the size, the roundness, the pressure, the angle and also streamline. So this is really similar to what you would find in Procreate, and of course we like having a streamline available to avoid those shaky strokes. So now we can start tracing the letter, but of course you can also create your own letter like this. And you can see this now really feels like drawing, just like in Procreate. The brush is very nice and it really feels like a Procreate brush. I'm just going to do a quick demo of some of the other brushes as well so you can see the difference. The second one is a pencil and that is a monoline brush. So this is very handy for when you want to refine your letters. You can use this brush here to even out some of the lines if you would like to do that. And of course you can also use this just to make a monoline font or maybe even to create a messy line font, sort of like this. And then next up we have a pen, and this is similar to a calligraphy pen. This lets you create really extreme thick and thin strokes, and so this really lends itself for calligraphy type letters. Then we have a qualum brush and also a marker brush. This is actually quite a fun brush. So whichever one of the brushes you use, definitely make sure that you try some of the different settings, play with streamline, thickness and pressure to dial in the settings according to the font that you'd like to make. And again, if you have any other suggestions for brush styles, then you have the suggestion box here as well. And then next up here, we have the eraser. And you can see the eraser is not just a monoline eraser, but you can set the pressure here as well, the roundness, the angle, and also streamline. So this is super handy for the eraser. Right now, I don't actually want streamline. I'm just going to show you how this works. This is very nice. You can now erase your strokes and maybe you want to make them a little bit rounder. And so this is really easy to do. And now one thing that might surprise you, let's select the arrow tool and let's tap on the letter. And you can see now that these are actual vectors. These are not pixels like what you would find in Procreate. These are actual vectors, which means you can resize your letters any way you want. And they won't get pixelated. You can also move individual strokes from each other. You can resize them individually or rotate them. And this is such a cool feature of this app. So essentially you can draw like in Procreate, but it creates a vector right here in the app and it feels almost like drawing in Procreate. While I was drawing these letters, you might have noticed that they start to fill in here. And so this is another super cool feature of this app. You get a preview of what your letters look like right when you draw them. So you can see what they look in context or even by themselves. You can also add new letters here. So if you wanted just to check what the K looks like, you can do that. And as you keep writing your letters, you can see how the preview shows you exactly what all the letters are going to look like. Of course, we can also rename the font. So you long tap on the square and then tap on rename, and we're going to name this font Eldon. I've started a little bit of a theme here, naming all my fonts after Zelda provinces, and that's why I'm calling this one Eldon. But now let's work on our Dueling Peaks font a little bit more. I want to show you some more features. If you want a little bit more precision over your letter, you can double tap on it and then it brings up this isolation mode. This is really nice because you can zoom in a lot more and you can really get into the details of each of your letters. And then once you're finished, you can double tap again and you're back in the normal view. On the right hand side of the iPad, you'll see that there is a menu to select your character set. This app supports many different languages and different categories, and depending on what you choose here, additional letters will get added to your sheet. You can quickly jump between the different sections by tapping the buttons here. So this is really, really nice and easy to navigate if you create a font with a lot of different glyphs. Another handy feature I want to show you is the ability to copy and paste. So for example, we can create an O and then we can use that for the Q as well. And in order to copy this letter, select the arrow tool and then highlight the letter. So this will select both strokes, then tap on copy, and then we're going to go to the Q and we're going to highlight the area where we want to paste the letter and then tap paste. So now we can go back to our brush and then we can just draw in the little stroke here for our Q. Here is another font that I made and I've used the marker pen for this. This is just a very simple handwriting font. And so now we can preview this font by tapping on the export button here and then go to type and showcase. And this is a really, really cool feature of the app. This lets you preview your font in different settings with different backgrounds, different sizes, and it's got some pre-made quotes already, which is really nice. But of course, you can also create your own. You can pick a composition, for example, post, which will give you a square canvas. And then you can type in some text to try out the font. You can choose the text color. And you can also choose that background. You can either choose a color, a gradient, or you can also upload your own image. Here's one that I've made in Procreate. And so this looks really nice. And I want the font to be white. And then you can also save this as a template by clicking on this little bookmark icon here. And so now this saves it as a new template. You can also export your image to that Photos app by tapping this little icon here. And now it gets saved to that Photos app. All the features I've shown you so far are free, so you can download the app for free and you can do everything I've shown you so far in the free version of this app. If you wanted to export the font so that you can use it in Procreate or in any other of your favorite apps, that requires that paid version. And the really nice thing about this app is that it's a one-time purchase. The app costs $9.99, so no subscription, which is absolutely fantastic. Now we are going to export the font file and we have a few different options. I very much recommend you check out the guide that is included right inside the app. Now, let me show you how to export this font directly to Procreate, and I also want to show another super cool feature of this app. This is only going to be an uppercase font, and you'll see that all my lowercase glyphs here are empty. And I first thought in order to populate all my lowercase glyphs, I needed to copy and paste the uppercase letters and then paste them here. But let me show you what happens when we do this. So now we're going to tap on Export font file, and then in the list of apps that comes up here, select Procreate. And now the font file gets exported and installed in Procreate. So now let's double tap on the text and then click on the font name to bring up that menu here. And now we're going to select Dueling Peaks. And so now you can see how this has created a completely uppercase font, and I didn't even have to worry about creating the lowercase letters. It works the other way around too, so if you only wanted to have lowercase letters, you can do this as well. If you wanted to use your font maybe on your laptop or any other device, you can also export the font file and then save it to your Files app. And now you can use an app such as iFont to install your font for any app on your iPad. If you're curious to learn how this works, I've got another video where I'm showing you exactly how this works, and I will leave a link in the description of this video. And then when you're testing out your font, you might find that the letters are a little bit too spaced from each other, but we can fix that, of course. You can adjust the font setting by decreasing or increasing the letter spacing like this, and also the word spacing. And now you're probably asking, how can I adjust the spacing between the individual letters? And this is not a feature that has been implemented as of yet. But one of the nice things is that this app has an AI component that figures out the spacing between each letter based on certain rules. And so you'll find that you don't actually have to adjust them. If you look at this looks pretty much perfect to me. So I probably wouldn't even do any adjustments. I'm actually quite blown away about how this works. So overall, my impression of this app is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love the brush feature. It almost feels like writing in Procreate. It's super nice and super smooth. And then of course, this is only version 1 of this app. So I'm super curious to see how this app develops in the future. If you have any ideas of the features that you would like to see in the app, definitely put them in the comments. And then hopefully the developers of the app will see your requests and they can put them in the app. In the interest of complete transparency, I want to say that this video was sponsored by Fontself. They have asked me to review this app and give my opinion, but I want to let you know that I would have not done this review if I didn't absolutely love the app. The opinions here, they are all my own, and I truly love this app and I really can't wait to see how it's going to develop in the future. I really hope this little tutorial was helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.